It's Reverend Ahmondra coming to you from the place where the queens always speak our truth. Today, I want to talk to you about a topic that's near and dear to my heart. It's being your authentic self. We live in a society where Black women have always been defined by others. And it is time for us to begin to define our own authentic self. And when I ask the question to a group of Black women, what is your authentic self? It is a challenge for them to answer because we don't always sit and take the time to actually focus on who we are as Black women. I'm not talking about what you like or what you dislike. I'm talking about your authentic self, that gift that was given to you by God. Who are you? We have to begin to define that answer for ourselves and to step into our own truth. As a young woman, I lived many years inside of an abusive marriage, and he defined who I was. And as a result, when I divorced and came out of that marriage, I didn't know who I was. I knew what I liked to do, but I didn't know who I was. It took years, but I discovered my true essence is a person who loves to step out and support others. That's why I have this YouTube channel. That is my authentic self. Society tries to tell us that we have to define ourselves by what we own, the type of job we have, the type of education we have. And all those things might be important, but they don't define who we are. As Black women, it is time for us to define who we are. And it's not a simple question. It's not a question you can just sit and just answer off the top of your head because you have to go back into your history and you have to look at what ideas were given to you. What ideas are your own? What behaviors did you pick up from those who are older than you? What are the things that you stopped doing because someone told you you shouldn't be doing that? How do you look? How do you act? All of that makes us our authentic self. But someone is always trying to define us and put us inside of what they think we should be. I remember back in my 20s, I used to wear my hair short and I used to wear African clothing. I used to go to the barber shop to get my hair cut. And I remember one day I'm sitting in my barber's chair and he looks at me and he says, "You need to let your hair grow out and you need to curl it." And I looked at him and I said, "No, you need to cut my hair and I'm going to leave my hair natural." Because, see, in his eyes, I did not define beauty the way he thought beauty should be defined. But I had to stand my ground because beauty to me appeared to be something different. That was my authentic self. I was blessed in that I had a mother and a father who stressed education. They told me, get your education and you can be whatever it is you want to be. Because they understood and knew that once I got education, I could go anywhere. And for them, education had a lot to do with common sense. It didn't just have to do with a college education. My mother used to say to me all the time, book learning is not all that you need. You also need common sense. And everybody doesn't have common sense. Well, sometimes we put our common sense to the sideline and we let somebody else give us their ideas of what should be happening for us. That has to stop. We are living in a day and an age where it is the Black woman's time to step up and step out. We are living in the times where we can stand up and speak our piece and not allow anyone to silence us. We can stand up and move forward and make an impact on this world because we've been making an impact on this world anyway. I always say the foundation of this country is built on our blood, sweat, tears, and yes, our breast milk. And today we can claim that. We can claim that we are the builders of this society. There are more Black women stepping up saying, you know what? I'm going to have a say in this political arena. Just look around us and see who's running for the president of the United States, a black woman. And look what they are saying about her. We just ignore that because we understand and know who she is. And she understands and knows who she is. Currently, there are more black women owning their own businesses than ever before. There are more black women going back to school to get their degrees than ever before. We no longer have to accept the unacceptable. If you are in a position and it's unacceptable to you, sit down and make a plan and have that plan move you from that place where you don't want to be to a place where you want to be. It's not always easy, but it is doable. And once you move forward and go in the direction of your dreams, you will begin to have a type of life that you want to have, that fulfills you, and you can step into being your authentic self. There's a peace and a calmness that happens in our world when you know you are being your authentic self. So often, as Black women, we take on responsibilities because no one else will. But I ask you this question: that responsibility you're taking on, is it taking away from you or is it giving to you? If it's taken away from you, you have to find a way for it to benefit you and fulfill your obligations that you may have to fulfill. If you are inside of a relationship and that relationship is not letting you be your authentic self, then sit down and make a plan on how you can either shift or alter that relationship or how you can move out of that relationship. And I'm not just talking about a relationship with a partner. I'm talking about a relationship with a family member, with a spouse, with a child. All our relationships impact us. And we have the power to shift and change those relationships. If they are not working for you, identify what's not working. And if you can shift and change it, then I say create a different relationship. Step out of that relationship so that you can express who you are. I am one of those people who always do research. I don't just take what the ordinary definition of something is or what everybody else is saying. I do my own research because when I do my own research, I find out information that I didn't even know was out there. And when I find that information out, a lot of times it benefits me. And then it helps me to move in the direction that's best for me. And what I invite you to do is do your own research. Research out what you really love. Find out who your authentic self really is and then step into it. Don't be superficial with it. It's not about your hair, your makeup, your clothing. It's much more than that. Your authentic self is that light that shines from within you out into the world. When you tap into your authenticity, it may have you pick up and move to another city because that is the place you need to be in order for you to fulfill whatever dream you have or to deliver whatever gift that you were endowed with. You have a special gift. And if you're not giving your gift to the world, or if you don't even know what that gift is, then you're not being your authentic self. So today, take time to discover your authentic self. And if you are already clear about who your authentic self is, then I invite you to help other sisters to discover their authentic self because the world is ready for us to step up and take our rightful place. We are the leaders that are going to have this country step up and be what it has supposed to have been all along, a place where everyone can come together and live in harmony and peace equally. It is never too late to step into your dreams, whatever your dream may be. If you can dream it, you can have it be your reality. My sisters, empowerment means that you are being your authentic self, that you have identified what is the best life for you. And then you are moving towards that best life. You are not allowing the outside circumstances to dictate your internal power. Our internal power is there for us to use to shift and change the outside circumstances simply by shifting how we look at them. I'm not saying that you can control somebody else because we can't, but we certainly can control how we interact with that person or how we interact with a certain situation. That is within our power. So today we're going to claim our power. We're going to break our silences and we're going to speak our truth and we're going to speak it all over the place. Authenticity is our word stepping into the new year 2025. You will be hearing more messages about us stepping into our authenticity because the world needs us. And who we are is power. In not too long of a time, we are going to be voting for the next president of the United States. If you haven't cast your vote already, cast it. If you haven't talked to others about what they're going to do, speak to those others. You'll be surprised how many people have not made up their mind to vote. You might be that one influence that helps them make up their mind. I was sitting in a car with an Uber driver, and we got into this amazing conversation. And I would not get out of his car until he made a promise to me that he would go and vote for Kamala Harris. And I got in touch with him later, and guess what? He said, I remember, I am going to vote, Reverend Ahmondra, and I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris. If I hadn't had that conversation with him, he was just going to not vote at all. You never know what a conversation can do. So speak your word and step into your power. If you haven't picked up a copy of my book, The Uncrowned Queen Reclaims Her Throne When a Black Woman Breaks the Silence, please pick it up. If you have your book, then I say give it as a gift. And if you want to know what's happening with the campaign, go to winwithblackwomen.com. You will see all of the activities that are going on, and you will be able to step into that conversation so that you're getting the right information. You're not getting information that someone is telling you that is inaccurate because we want to be our authentic self, that we need to go to the source to get the correct information that helps us move forward on our path. Thank you for joining me today. I add a blessing to you. And remember, authenticity is your birthright.